Wildland fires. They are a terrible yet inevitable consequence of the weather and topography of our area. On April 12th, fire departments from Carpinteria to Cambria converged on Santa Barbara to practice responding to this type of all too familiar disaster.
What we're doing for this drill is preparing our firefighters and emergency responders, such as police department and sheriff's department, in preparation for the upcoming wildland fire season. The crews today are receiving training in everything from structure defense, which is where we go in and protect homes in the event of an oncoming wildland fire, as well as training surrounding helicopter operations, hoist capabilities, crew capabilities within wildland fires with the helicopters, and as well as training on the ground simulating hose lays and protection of those resources that we have in our communities.
That word communities is key here. Since no single fire department has the resources to handle large-scale emergencies, municipalities team up during these events in what is called mutual aid. So in addition to tactical exercises, this drill was a rehearsal for the extraordinary coordination required to keep all the responders on the same page.
We're pulling on those resources to work together. It's another opportunity for us to understand the different departments, get a feel for the orientation for the different layouts. So we get familiar because we recognize just the same as they're going to come down here, we also have a high probability of going up in their areas to protect and help them in an emergency.
For the structure defense portion of the drill, fire crews fanned out into surrounding neighborhoods to practice structure triage, much like EMTs use to assess accident and disaster victims.
They look at things such as access and their water availability and defensible space. They also want a safe place to stay because we're always looking at worst case scenarios and what happens if that fire does advance there.
And with more rain this year, potential fuel for these types of fires is abundant.
We've seen a tremendous increase in the grass growth. So there is a high likelihood, while we may feel comfortable in all this rain that we've gotten from our threat from wildland fire, there's a high likelihood that what we're going to see this year is a lot of fast-growing, fast-moving fires that are carried quickly through this grassland and advance into our drier, brushier areas.
And this is where we come in. Residents play a crucial role in these wildland fire scenarios and how they protect their property using what is called defensible space.
Defensible space is the #1 tool that homeowners themselves can use to protect their structures. Here in Santa Barbara County and Santa Barbara City, we have different criteria for defensible space. The area behind me, defensible space, is 100 feet out from the structure. And when we look at defensible space, that doesn't mean moonscaping the property and voiding it of all vegetation. So within that 100 feet, what we're looking at for defensible space is being strategic with that vegetation. Clearing dead vegetation, removing ladder fuels. The vegetation that gets closer to the house, we want that more green, we want it more irrigated, so that it stands a smaller chance of catching fire and advancing that fire towards the structure during an actual wildland fire.
Fortunately, residents in the high fire hazard areas of the city have a number of resources to increase the survivability of their homes in a wildland fire.
In the foothill high fire hazard areas, we have the Wildland Fire Suppression Assessment District, and one of the programs we offer through that district is voluntary defensible space inspections. Homeowners can call voluntarily and we will have somebody come out and provide them education. We'll do a walk around their structure, around their property, and look at what they can do to enhance their defensible space and even enhance their building to make sure that their home is survivable as well.
So while we can hope to never see another wildland fire in Santa Barbara, we must prepare for the worst, just like our first responders do.
It's guaranteed we're going to have another one here in the city. It's only a matter of time, unfortunately, and we want to make sure that those residents here in our city do the most that they can to be protected.